Good afternoon, family. It's your buddy, the 14th Prime, and I have to make this. Video. One, I gotta make this video for Justincredible. Justin, I started to just type on the video that you made yesterday, but I decided, no, I'm gonna give this brother a whole 8 minutes of explanations that I make up while I sit here. No, but for real. Okay, I get it. I get what you're saying. Okay, so in my head, or to my knowledge, when the war started, Decepticons were planes. They had no vehicles. Autobots were vehicles. They had no planes. I guess the way that they were made, there was no way for them to swap that. Like, that was the only option was like, listen, we gonna let y'all transform, but it's gotta be something vehicular. And that's why later on in the episodes, they came up with the aerial bots. And then after they figured out how to do that, more of them began to fly. Decepticons at the same time was like, you know what? I'm tired of them having cars, just like the episode. And they decided we're going to make the Stunticons. So now they had cars, and then they were able to move on from there. Now, your question about where the each robot came from one of the 13. I get it. I read that lore. Now, I saw in the comic books that they have an explanation of it's like a family tree. It was weird, and I didn't really want to go by that, but I get what you're saying. If every Transformer came from one of the 13, then, I'm guessing, like the Quintessons came from Quintus, or, Decepticons' evilness came from Megatronus. But you said one thing. You had said, what about this guy? One of the reasons I almost didn't buy this was because I knew that it had like the Japanese lore behind it. And obviously my thing is G1 seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5 Phases of Darkness. But then I watched Chris McFeely, like you said, and his explanation, he gave like 3 different explanations. One in the Japanese show, well, actually it was Chris McFeely in another channel. But anyway, after Optimus had died so many times and times again, and Rodimus had given up being Rodimus and went back to being Hot Rod years later during the war, he decided to homage Optimus by making a fortress, like a base mode or whatever, which was this. So Optimus, it was just modeled to look like him. The other story was that Optimus derived from him and that this was actually first, which is weird. Like that story blew my mind. I didn't know about that, and I ended up going down the rabbit hole last night. Thanks, Justin. Appreciate it. At least I did go to church, and then I spent the whole rest of the day doing homework on your video. But this, this obviously, according to lore, after Optimus had died a number of times again, he had to fight, what was his name? Dark Void, Dark something. It was a giant evil ball that Megatron had been turned into in the, like I said, in the lore across the water. And Optimus came back as this, only to die again and get his other body back. Yeah, that's right. They said it was and this was 1992. So whatever cartoon or Japanese show was going on over there then, I mean, like, I had put these down for a minute, so I didn't know that stuff. But once I had found out, after the first video or whatever, and then I saw that this was in a part of the Age of the Primes, I had to get it because I'm a completionist. I had to have all 13. Now, I'll say this. This was my favorite toy of 2025. He is still very fun, big, dumb, chunky plastic. The truck is fun to play with and run people over with. The base is fun. It connects to a bunch of stuff. You got your little hot rod that comes with it. The lore is crazy. Again, like I said, anyway, yeah, with the lore, they ended up saying that the third thing was that This was first. And then after whatever happened in the comics and Dark Void died and Super Megatron was born, and then this was made to fight him. But apparently, you know how they weird with the stories, like how Beast Wars ended up being after. Anyway, this is Prime's father. I had commented on your channel because I thought that means that Prime was the first male Transformer. I thought that he was like where Optimus came from. Apparently not. And also the whole lore thing too is that of all the Primes, Optimus was the 13th in some iterations. Now there's other iterations where he's not. And here's my question. Wouldn't Rodimus Prime be a part of the Primes, being that he was a Prime that came from another Prime? And where's Nova Prime? His name's Prime. I mean, where's he? You know what I mean? So it's weird, but I get it. Like the mini bots came from Micronus, and like the smart ones came from Alpha Trion, and like the beasts all came from Onyx. Women, we know that one hands down. All of them came from Solus. Amalgamus. Now here's where people get confused. Amalgamus does have the transformation cog, but Amalgamus is able to transform into infinite things. Nexus was the first combiner, whom we don't have yet, whom we hope to see soon. Liege Maximo was the trickster, just like you said. He was the Loki of all of them. He's the father of Swindle. He's the father of Detrius. He's the father of Punch Counter Punch. He's the father to Double Dealer. You know what I mean? Like if you really sit and like draw out the family tree, it all kind of makes sense as to who came from where. You just need to, have the time on your hands to sit down. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are wondering what is he talking about, let me explain. Usually I take Sundays off because Sunday is the day of rest. I get up, go to church. United in Christ, one heart, one purpose, one destination. That'll be Saturday. We all, are there from 9 to 12 o'clock, and then we come home, or we go eat, and then we come home and take naps and turn on the PlayStation. I try to not think about making videos. I might do a short, but usually a lot of times that's the day I take my toys from in here and I take them out in the house, and you sit and play with them because I play with my toys. That's why you'll never, a lot of times I just put the stuff back where they were, but I am that guy that gets up and grabs one or two of them and they go out to the living room or wherever, with me. And then I go, oh, I want to play with such and such. And I go get him, and my wife will watch a cooking show, and my baby will play all over the house and tear up stuff. And I sit. Well, after church yesterday, I got home, everybody was relaxing, and I to go on YouTube because that's the only channel I really like watching. I have a short attention span. And Justincredible's video is on. And I said, oh, that's my right there. Yeah, this is perfect. Click, and I said, oh, pause it. And I go grab a toy. This is God honest truth. I grab Amalgamus. And I come back and I click the video. And I'm watching and I'm taking Amalgamus apart and I'm messing around with him. And Justin says,
the 14th Prime brother, if you're watching this, please make a video about this. I think that would be really cool and interesting because not a lot of people dive deep into each one. So I could be wrong.
Justin, keep being great, brother. Love your channel. Love you, man. You are awesome. I'm so glad the algorithm has put all of us together in this. So Amalgamus has the transformation cog. He turns into an infinite number of things. If you haven't yet, please go back on my channel. Go to my posts from last night or go to last night's shorts. Amalgamus is now my top favorite Prime, period. Sorry, Star Optimus. You're wonderful and you're big and chunky and fun and stuff. And you can do this with the Gundam ears or blow them clean out, whatever. Fun, very much. But you have been replaced. Once I realized that I could make a speeder, a Land Cruiser, these two swords came from over there. They came with the ship, the Seeker, the Elite Guardian from Devastation. But still, it works. And even if I take these off here, let's just take them off just for the sake of the 14th Prime. It doesn't come with those, so how can you can't? I will say this. For those of you that get Amalgamus, the head comes off by look. You can look at it and that shockwave head will come off. But the fact that you can do this, I made a land speeder. This was fun. Shout out to Botbender Orange, because I had been talking to him on Instagram and was like, bro, I know you're gonna buy 6 of these to make whatever. And yeah, I put Rung in there. Justin, don't ask who Rung is. If you don't know, that's a whole nother video. But for those, I mean, Rung is also a creator of them, but yet also not a Prime, though he should be. But in some iterations, he's like Primus reincarnated, but small. Hasbro, y'all crazy. But get your stories together. Put Rung in here. And it's like it was made for him. Now, the funny thing, too, is that, like, with this, say, let's go ahead and take this out. Let's fold these outward. And let's bend these down without the feet coming off completely. And let's, see, there goes the head. Let's spin this at the waist and bring that forward. But yeah, I'll just put the pictures up instead of me trying to do it while making a video. Amalgamus is ridiculous. The number of things that I have come up with so far, and even my channel watchers have sent me numerous and numbers of a lot of pictures of just different things. One guy hit me this morning. He made a sailboat, a whole Cybertronian boat. You can make a scorpion with this. If you take this, disassemble the feet, this goes like off to the side there, and then the crab hands go out like this, and then in the back, and you got like this mystic scorpion. I made a Seeker jet last night. I made another base. What else did I make? I mean, I just had a ball. And the funny thing is like, and then I combined him with Micronus. I took the wheel, and that's the part I got from Botbender. I took the wheel of Micronus off, put the wheel in the upper half of the exosuit or Apex armor. That's the word I was looking for. The waist of Micronus has a 5mm peg in the back that connects perfectly to right here. So then another thing that I've seen a lot of people doing is that you can take, there you go. There's another mode. This thing just keeps on giving. And then you got like another double-sided mini jet. Or you can take these off and you got a little tank. Or you can take this and put this one on top of here and fold this forward. And now you've got, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many different things. So yeah, Amalgamus being the prime of infinite transformations makes perfect sense. I have yet to take the transformation cog out of his head. I don't want to. I don't want to, not necessarily lose it. It's right there though. But yeah, and Justin, I get it too. Like, okay, so if all 13 of them just appeared, so he knew everybody that was going to come as time went on. Like, it's so many unanswered questions that I will never get to know. But whatever, that's what our imaginations are for. But I will say this. Like I said, Star Optimus, or whoever you want to be called this week, you were a very, very fun toy. But you are no longer my favorite because this, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. You can put that up and then to put that, stop playing. See, while I'm sitting here messing with this, talking to y'all, you could put this, hold on, move that all the way up. If you don't have Amalgamus Prime, definitely, if you're collecting the 13 and you're trying to put them together or whatever, don't miss out on him. Do not miss out on him. He is definitely, to me, by far, one of the greatest.